Hi Pep, Simon Mullock, Sunday Mirror. This is a question about the general title race. Given Liverpool have gone top now and they've opened up quite a considerable gap that could be even more after tonight's game, psychologically, are your players ready for that challenge with Liverpool? Because they're a club that have got some kind of hold over City in the last 2 seasons, beating you 3 times last season, and managed to get a draw at Anfield this year when you had a penalty in the final minutes.
But I think Liverpool that Wednesday we can just play whatever you want. Now is a Southampton psychology. If you are not psychologically ready, it's because we are not ready to compete for the big titles. So we cannot play the games from Liverpool next Thursday, yes, but we have to focus in our game. So doesn't mean the fact. So I am so close and I trust with the guys. I know we made the mistakes, but no mistakes now. Since the West Ham game when we won 0-4, in that moment I said, they create more chances than usually. We are not perfectly, and maybe it was happen after the international break. Sometimes this kind of situation happen, but this month was not so fluently like we were, in the beginning of the season or last season, but. We handled quite well in terms of the results, but the all 3 games we played, the first time the halfway or the first time you shoot on target to score a goal. When before of that we create more chances, we were dead, and that psychology we have to learn of that. So we cannot forget, except 3 or 4 players, we are a young team, young squad. So our strikers is 21, 22 years old, except Sergio. Midfield players, except the 2 guys, also they are a young team. So. And that show us, or they tell me what in which part we have to work with, and we're going to do that.
One of the things that you said last season when you were winning the title was that you were going to be tougher with the players this year. When you go through a period where you lose 3 games out of 4, is that when you have to be tougher, or maybe is that when you have to be gentler?
No, that is not a book who said I'm going to be tougher or I'm going to be sweeter. So that is your feelings. I said many times, like a manager is not a book. I said today you have to do that. It's just what I feel, and it depends of. Sometimes I'm so angry losing games or winning games, and the opposite side. So no, always. It's not the fact that tougher, of course, is to work harder, because I know from my experience about 100 points is a little bit more complicated, and that is, and we did well. So make 44 points in the first round, and you make the same points in the second round is 88 points. 88 points, you are champion. You have numbers to be champions. Most of the Premier League winners in the past, in the last decade, 20 years, won the Premier League with less points. So we did it quite well. We said we did really well. But of course, you have the image the last 2 games, especially Crystal Palace and even Leicester. And you have that sense. But it's because always the champions, because you have one more point for the second one, and there are 2 teams they are better than us. And the last month, so we say when Liverpool make 9 clean sheets and making a lot of goals and score, we cannot compete with that in terms of comparing with them. So you have to look ourselves. And tomorrow Southampton do what we have to do and try to win. And when this happens, everything is coming back in normal position.
Pep, Ken Lawrence from The Sun. We can respect why you would say you have such great belief in your players because of your achievements. But would you, during a time like this, where it's more difficult, decide that perhaps you might want to change your philosophy slightly to be, more cautious?
I was wearing that question. I was waiting a little bit later. That is not going to happen. It's not happening in the first years, and it's not going to happen.
We hope it doesn't, but it's a valid question.
No way.
You would not change your philosophy.
Why should I change? Because I lost 2 games. What is about my believers? No way. That is not going to happen.
Hi, Pep. Russell from Sunday Life. You have a fantastic record. You're known for analysing games to the nth degree. Do you sometimes have to stop yourself getting too down after you've lost? Because you can overanalyse it, you can look into situations that are perhaps not there. So you have to sort of stop yourself from being too disappointed, too down after a defeat.
Disappointed myself?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I'm disappointed. I look at myself. That is my biggest quality.
Yeah.
I look at myself, first of all, what can I do to help them? Yeah. So the job of the manager analyze through the game. The game. In the game we have to do better. In the boxes, in our process, in the way they defend, the opponent defend, how you have to do to attack better, more fluently. When they arrive in our box, how we defend much better. Of course, there are many things we have to improve. That's why. So when I lose, I don't look our opponents. I look myself. I look my team. That is because it's nice our job. So it's always I've done in that way. That is the game. The situations happen, and it's happened for the reason, not for the stars or for something unpredictable. When you have uncommon situation like they arrive 2 or 3 times, they score a goal every time. So you have to analyze why. And it's not when it's common 1 or 2 times. You have to discover why. And you have to try to take a solution or find a solution.
It's an interesting answer to the changing of philosophy, because the surprising thing about your defeats is you've taken the lead in both against Palace and Leicester. Is there anything you can do for that when you score the first goal?
Score another one.
That's the way to finish it off.
And another one.
Not to hold back for 10 minutes.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
When that's happened, it's because the other is better. The other is better, and they put it backward. And after you have to defend as much. No way. No, that is not going to happen. I understand.
Yeah.
But if you give me what is the better solution, you convince me, maybe I try to think about it. But not for 2 results or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7.
It's just you said
It's
after
just work more, and when you believe, working, getting better. In what you believe. It's the same approach as first season when I answered this question, I don't know, 10 or 20 or 20 times when the people would believe that guy, what he believes, who he is coming here in England and wanting to play in that way. And after that we win, of course, because we spend a lot of money. That is the reason why. Because without good players, we cannot do that. But and that is not going to happen. Before the club is going to decide to change another way. Not because, for one simple question, not because I never tried to feel here or to show you through my words I am special or better or unique or something like that. No. What I defend is what I believe. I believe in that. But and when I see Leicester game, I discover through I believe we can do better to solve the situation, to create more chances to concede few. And I speak with the players. Guys, today happen with that. If we don't solve that, we'll be having the problem in the future problems, and you have to do that. And tomorrow you're going to be tough. Insist until the end. And after we're going to analyze in summertime what can do better to increase the team, to improve the team. And of course, sometimes we make one build-up in a way, one pressing in one way, and the other one knowing what the opponent, the quality they are. And of course, every team has his specific things. As Michael put the long balls here, there, and there. That team, Southampton, is always in the middle. Of course, we try to discover what they do. But that is not going to happen because for one simple thing is I trust. I trust a lot in the way we want to play. And I try to do it. And it's simple. When we win, it's right, and when we lose, it's not right. But that I knew that. I'm not take advantage of that. I did it last season when I said when it's going to lose, we're going to doubt again. This is the right way because it happened in Barcelona when it's more stable, or in Bayern Munich when we won a lot of titles. Always I fell because we didn't win the Champions League. So I know that how it works in that situation, but I'm not concerned. So always when it happened, after a little sad and depressed, 5, 10, 15 minutes, half day, and after charge the batteries and discover why we lose. The same when we win. It's a game. A game is nice for that. It's why. Not because we analyze result is bad, win is fantastic. I said many times, win a lot of games, still you have a lot of things to improve. And you are testimony for that. I said many times. And not for false arrogance or false, looks like fake. You want to be humble. No. I said we are a fantastic team, like I believe right now, but still we have improved in the past, and now a little bit more in the present, because of course, when we won a lot in a row in the past and win 2 games in a row losing, so something happened. But football, I said many times, is unpredictable. You can lose 2, you can lose 3, and 4, and 5. So believe me, that can happen. So tomorrow we can lose, and Liverpool again, and even for the FA Cup. What you have to do, work harder. The only way I know in my experience like a football player, imagine when that's happened, is everybody in front of the mirror work harder. And after that, when you are able to win 1 or 2, everybody's coming back and everything is coming like normally we are.
Oh, thanks. We got the message. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, guys.
Done? Thank you.
Thank you.